Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. We are so grateful that you are tuning in for another episode of Thanks.
Thanks for nothing. We'll eventually get that down. We say that every week.
No, that's just because, we're
the next time you do it, you say thanks. I'll be like, thanks.
Yes, you'll get the echo.
I'll be the echo.
All the way over there, all the way across the country. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We're so excited to be here. I'll speak for myself, but I have a feeling myself is also Denise. We are so excited for you to be here. Hello, Rick.
Hello. Unmute yourself. We're going to do that today. We're going to unmute them. I love it.
Yes. If you are watching live with us today, or even the replay, share with us where in the world you are tuning in from. So
what planet would that be? Where in the world are you from? In which world? We should say, which world are you from?
Which world are you tuning in from today? Yeah. And it could change, right?
It could change. Yeah, absolutely. We are going to have so much fun today. We're going to have an amazing session of interaction with people. I'm so excited. It's almost Leo season. Can you see Roar back there? There's Roar.
What up, Roar?
Roar.
Hey, Joe. Great to see you.
Hello, Joe.
Joe from Chicago.
Awesome. All right. Chicago's and Chi-Town's in the house. All right.
So yes, as Denise said, we're going to have a great show for you today. We want you to grab some pen and paper because
you're going to need it.
You're going to need it.
We're going to have some fun. And not only are we going to have an awesome time, but there's going to be aha moment, light bulb moment after light bulb. And I know everybody's going to get it. They're going to so get it.
Yeah.
They're going to get it like they've never gotten it before.
God, you're giving it to me like I've never gotten it before. That's a little awkward.
What happens when there's two Leos on the screen? Well, actually three if you count Roar.
That is true. Hello, Bradley. Great to see you here again.
Hello, Bradley. Woo! Santa Cruz.
Yes. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate that so much. Joe and I know each other from way back, many moons ago. He is a filmmaker. He is an actor.
Nice.
Very, very cool. Yeah.
Cool.
So I just wanted to say before we dive into today's conversation, although this is part of the conversation.
Well, let me ask you some questions.
Yes.
What happened with the cookies? Everybody's dying to know. How many did you eat? Did they stop coming?
I don't even think people knew. Not everybody knows that I even received them. That's what I wanted to share very excitingly. So if you tuned in last week for us, where Denise shared her 5 steps to manifestation, the example or what we manifested were a warm, hot, or a hot chocolate chip cookie. And interestingly enough, the day before, Denise was sharing with me what we were going to be manifesting. So we actually together did that as well. Long story short, within 1 hour after doing that exercise, I heard John going, Shari, there's someone at the door for you. Do you know who Robert is? And I'm like, what? And there was, from Nestle Toll House, a dozen, not just one, because I don't just do anything small, dozen hot chocolate chip cookies. So
how cool is that?
So cool. And I just kept going, what is going on here?
My mouth is watering as we talk about it. So that means there's more cookies on the way because yeah.
And share with everybody what you talked about the cookies could be what? Anything.
It could be anything.
Anything.
It could be nothing. Absolutely nothing. Is it really a cookie or was it just a mind projection of a box of 12 cookies? We'll never know.
You'll never know. But as easily as those cookies came to me, so could
they disappeared?
Okay. They are gone. Yesterday I ate the last one. I would say the first day I might have eaten 3 or 4.
They would have never made it to midnight in this house.
I literally, the last day though, Denise, I said to John, I was like, can you please just eat that last cookie? Because I really don't want to eat that today or the last few days. And it just kept sitting there. So then last night I said to him, I was like, it's all your fault. I ate it. Because
was he going, Shari, I'm waiting for you.
Yes. And I kept telling myself, it's not going to be like soft and gooey anymore. And it was still soft and gooey.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, if you haven't watched that episode, make sure that you go back to last week's and check it out because
so much fun. So much fun.
So much fun. Yeah. So let's dive in. Let's dive in. Well, first, hello, Facebook user. If you are in, let me just say this really quickly. If you are watching from the Joy Spot, my Facebook group, make sure that you allow the permissions in the caption. That way, it'll show your name and who's speaking to us. By the way, if you're watching on LinkedIn, hi, LinkedIn peeps. Hi, YouTube peeps.
Hello, hello, hello. We're LinkedIn, we're Facebooking, we're all over. Multi-dimensional beings, right? There we go.
Yes. Speaking of the universe, I know we've got it, but it just reminded me of those space pics that just came in. And for me, I just want to say this because if you've seen it, will you guys comment if you've seen the NASA pics? I just want to say, like, as I looked at it and I was sitting with John last night and we were talking, I said, this is the stuff that Denise and I talk about, and just a representation for me specifically, because if there is all of that out there, boundless, like, of course it's possible.
And not only that, the out there mirrors the in here.
Right.
So if all that's out there,
yes,
all that's in here.
Yes. And that's what I was feeling.
Yeah.
I was just
feel the own expanse happening. Yes.
Yeah. And I think that's where all this extra energy is coming, because I'm like, we can do anything. Like, anything is possible. Like, anything. So if you haven't checked them out, make sure that you do. It's whatever you believe about it or think about it. It's just, it lit me up inside.
Yes. Awesome.
Okay.
There's nothing more than happier than a lit up Leo. Let me tell you. Did
I
mention it's almost Leo season? Did I mention I love the energy.
I know. And you know what's so funny is that it's like Leo season to be really all year long. But as it gets closer, I'm definitely feeling it. And and my birthday's in this month, as you know. So 27th, just so you know, I'm manifesting, besides a cookie, I'm manifesting gifts, dinners, television show, a contract.
RV, the whole 9 yards. Yeah.
Whatever. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to let you go. Where? I don't know. And where did you ever see? Okay. So see, I'm all over the place. Did you ever see?
Welcome to my world. Go ahead. Fun here.
Did you ever see as a kid the show, The Great Space Coaster? Did they have that by you?
I believe so. Or maybe it was more of my sisters watched that, but I remember it being on the TV.
So Being With You reminds me of that, and being on this show, because they get into a rocket and the song is like, on the Great Space Coaster, get on board, whatever. And the last tagline is, and where we land this time is anybody's guess. And I'm just like, so let's go. Where are we off to?
Where are we? Well, we're always here and now. Best place to be, the only place to be.
Yeah.
But you know, I think you put in the heading for the show today, there's a magical phrase.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. So this is, thanks for nothing, where nothing is everything and everything is nothing, which means that there's no exclusion. Right. So all things are possible, even if you don't even believe they're highly probable or even probable at all. The very fact that you're open to the possibility of it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So what I'd really like to do today is to kind of introduce people to themselves for the very first time. I know you love doing that. I love doing it.
Yes, yes.
And then you like to pull things out of people so that they can share themselves with others, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So the first thing that I want to say is I have no freaking clue what I'm doing the majority of the time. It just looks like I do. I play a character that looks like she has her shit together.
Same.
Right?
Same. It's like the curtain opens and it's like, ta-da! What's going on?
We're on. Hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Oh.
Maybe nothing but chocolate chip cookies are. Yes, they are.
Robert is the one who created the cookies for me.
But of course.
Oh, we got one more cookie comment. Sorry, another Robert, my dad.
Yes, look at that. we're gonna have to start a chocolate chip cookie support group.
Yes, or as Robert said, Robert who sent me the cookies, you're gonna have the spokesperson for Pillsbury or whomever.
There you go. Okay. I could be the little boy. Woo! Anyway, I was practicing all week for today.
Okay.
Oh, now you got me snargle grunting over here, right? Hey, welcome, Calvin.
What's up, Calvin?
Wonderful. Okay, so what we want to do here today is to see how much your character, right, this human being that you play every day, think of it like your own Truman Show. So you got the Shari show, I got the Denise show, we got lots of Robert shows, we have a Calvin show, right? Everybody's in their own Truman Show. And you start to have a suspicion that something's not quite like they've taught you that it was. And there's a whole lot of things going on to make you believe that this is how it is. It takes a lot of effort for that, to do that. But when you start to go and as we said, and it was a really great lead in with the outer space pictures and the inner space. I call it your inner space, because when you create something within yourself, how it shows up in your reality, it eventually gets projected out, and there's this bridge of incidents that usually is only known in hindsight. But we're gonna bring somebody into the hot seat. We got somebody all ready for that. I know he's like, when are they gonna bring me on? We're just let him sit in it a little bit, wait a little longer. It's
I don't know if you can see him, but he's literally doing that in the green room. He's like,
I can feel him. I can feel it. Oh, by the way, you were all sparkly last week, which inspired me to get all sparkly.
I love it. I love it.
You're very contagious. So with this inner space and everything is you projected out, when we put our wonderful friend in this hot seat today, and I'm going to ask everybody to play along with. So if you don't have a pen and paper, I highly recommend that you get one. And we want to make some columns, just like 3 columns. So the first column is yes or no, or you could have 4.
Let's give everybody a moment. Let's give everybody a moment just to grab a quick pen and paper. Grab in the air.
Quick one, not a slow one.
No.
Not a stuck one.
No, they've got to be flying. This notebook's
quick ones.
Flying all over the place.
All over the place. Okay. So you can put a column for the questions, and I'll repeat it. So you could have if you really want the one for the questions, or you can go back and look at the video later. But the first column is yes or no. Just very simple, right? Yes or no. And if it's yes, give a supporting fact immediately why it was yes. You shouldn't even have to think about it. So it may trigger a memory, or this is just, I would say the more specific you can get in pulling a memory, because this is how we take our past memories that serve us and bring them, right? We've got people grabbing all over the place. So the first column could be for the question, or just simply yes or no. Then the next one is, if it was yes, give it a support, prove it. And if it was no, or even a maybe, I mean, really yes or no, but if for some reason you feel like you're in that in-between space, it's not a solid yes or a solid no. The first thought that comes in and says why, I want you to write that down. That's your resistance.
So first column is yes or no. You're just going to write that, whatever you ask. The second column,
and it's immediate. Before you actually, I don't want you to ponder. I don't want you to reflect. It's boom, either yes or no. The second you hear it, when I'm done that sentence or that question, it's yes or no.
Okay.
If it's yes, what is the supporting thing that came in that you have a wonderful memory of that says, yes, this is true for me? And if it's no, I want you to write down whatever the initial thought, and we call that foundational thought or a foundational assumption, that is negating the yes that it should be.
Okay, so just because I'm very technical, second column is literally whatever the yes is or the no is, whatever that first response was. The second column.
So why don't we just do one, so we can kind of walk people through it before we bring on the hot seat person. So guess what? You're back in the hot. You thought you were out.
No,
Pulled you back in.
Damn it! I handed my crown over.
You never quite get out. Okay. All right. So if I were to say this to you, and I'm going to make statements, because when you're questioning, you're actually pulling yourself out of alignment. So my 3 triple A's are activate, align, and anchor. So when I say the statement, I'm activating that within you. Also pay attention that if it is a yes, where do you feel it in your body? Is it a tingle? Is it an itch? Did you yawn? Did you sneeze? Right? Write that down to get as much information. If it's a no, not only what was the first thing that'll never happen, it could be a reaction or whatever, but was there a feel in the body? And what was that feel? Right? So when I say, how do you feel today? What would you say?
Energized.
Okay. But that's a concept.
Okay.
So when I ask people, how do you feel? It's within your body. So how do you feel within your body?
Or how does energy feel in my body then?
Exactly. That's very different than energized, because that's a concept. We want to get into the actual see it, taste it, hear it, touch it, smell.
So bouncy is bouncy a feeling? Or whatever you're asking.
If that's what it feels like, if the energy feels like that.
No, bouncy in a fluffier way. Not like I'm electrocuted.
Not like a jackhammer bouncy. Okay, fine. You can tell it's Leo season. Anyway, okay. All right. So if I say to you, and when I say I, I'm going to use the pronoun I, but so you'll hear it in your own vernacular as you, meaning I, you, not I, me, but I,
Yeah.
you. Okay.
Okay.
I am the superstar of my universe.
What am I doing right now?
Okay. Was it a yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Right. Then put a yes for number one. Yes. Was there a feel activated?
So in the body.
Yeah. What did it feel like? Was it a tickle? Was it an itch? Did you yawn? Did you sneeze? Did you
Oh,
fart? It doesn't matter. It could be anything.
okay.
It could
Am
be
I
like big
telling?
toe, pins and needles in my big toe. I mean, it could be
Okay.
very, very, very specific.
Okay.
And for those people, if it was a no, what was the responding first thought? Just one thought. That'll never happen. Sometimes you are. Like it could be hard hitting, or it could just be more like and I'd rather it be the hard hitting one, like that'll never happen, because the
Mhm.
more subtler ones usually get missed,
Mm. Okay.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
there was a feel with that.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing. You're good if it's a yes, you're given a reason why it was a yes. So why are you the superstar of your universe? What is one supporting memory that you have? Or you're just one, just one. Because if that's all we need is just one.
Of a memory?
Yeah, that says I'm the superstar in my universe.
Well, mine just feels like a more of a knowing. This is the hot seat. This is why I hate hot
But,
seat.
and this is why I'm not negating the knowing, but
Yeah.
because the mind that comes in and says the no, then gives all the supporting detail. When we have that yes, it's going to be a knowing because you said yes. But let's get a supporting detail.
Okay. Well, let's just talk about last week and my cookies showing up when I wanted them.
There you go.
Yeah.
And
The
so
universe.
yeah, right. So then you would put quick cookie showing up real quickly. Now,
Mhm.
for those people that would answer no, and you wrote down what the first thought was of that'll never happen, or maybe sometimes, prove it right here, right now. Prove your negation. And I will give a free session to anyone who can prove their negation, because you can't, because it's
Well,
bullshit.
you can't prove anything with you.
It's all, yeah, it's all
Yeah.
BS. It's all
Yeah.
BS.
Yeah.
But still, make the mind prove it right here, right now. Not yesterday, not 5 hours from now, not 2 minutes from now, right here, right now.
Mhm.
That's the power of this. So,
What happens if somebody has an experience though that they believe says that they're not?
but it's not right here, right now.
Got it. Okay. For those
Because
of you who haven't joined us previously, I just want to say this because it's important. As I feel it right now. Denise is a former interrogator. I just needed to say
you have the
that.
right to remain silent. Anything you say, well,
Yes, you will never get at. You will never weasel your way out of anything.
yeah, because you're so brilliant, you're so amazing.
Yes.
And part of the fun is just watching the light bulbs go off, and they get aha moment after aha, and it's so
Yeah.
much fun. So much fun.
Yeah.
Right? So you don't
Yeah.
know what's coming.
Yeah.
All right. So
Okay.
who's our lucky contestant on Thanks for Nothing today?
Who's the lucky contestant on the hot seat for Thanks for Nothing? Oh,
I was
Rich.
sharing the broadcast over to my page.
Oh, awesome. So
Yeah.
Rick, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am a man who is surrounded by the most amazing people who are making huge impacts on the world. I own a private jet. I have ridiculously powerful and wealthy companies that do crazy, huge work in the world. I get to live the life of my dreams, where I am traveling and living in different countries around the world.
That's awesome.
And I get to be surrounded by you two beautiful beings of light that in such a short time have transformed so many old, crappy, useless ways of being.
Mm.
And
How
when
you feeling?
Denise,
How you
how do I
feeling?
feel it? It's like this rush of like beautiful air that's just like whoosh.
Awesome.
Mm.
A little funny side note, my mom would be like, "How are you feeling?" I'm like, "With my hands," and then I would get whacked. So I've always been that little sarcastic every once in a while.
Can I say something real quick?
Absolutely, say all that you want. I'm listening.
Denise asked that question to me not even 2 weeks ago, I think. And a question similar to that. Tell me about your life. Tell me about this guy, Rich. And I sat here going, blah, 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 blah. I couldn't even answer that question the way I just did. So, yeah. Thank you.
Look, he's holding, at least on my version of this. We're up top and he's at the bottom. So just go like this the whole time because you're holding us up.
Look how strong you are. You're holding us up.
Everybody is are we on the top level there? Okay. Anyway,
I'm just pressing listen, I'm just pressing buttons here. I have no idea what's going to happen next. So let's see. Oh no.
So up. We're
sorry, I'm
there.
sorry, the universe.
She's a button pusher. She's a button pusher. You got to watch out. Okay. All right. So just to go over, Rich, do you have any questions of the instructions that I gave? I will go over it again. I'm going to make some statements.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And now you're in the hot seat, the fun hot seat. So we're really going to dive into, so we may, when you have one of those responses, that's a no, and we get the idea of why it came up, that's when we're really going to go into it there. Just to give the process to people. Now, I am intense. I will warn you that ahead of time. Everything is done with love. But at any time, if it gets too intense, please shout broccoli.
Broccoli. Okay.
Broccoli. Yes. Broccoli
safe word. All right.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. You have to have a safe word when you play with me. Okay.
We gotta plan these better because I just want to have props. I just want to like hold up broccoli or throw broccoli in the air like confetti. I don't know. Okay. Okay. Sorry.
All right. So I'm going to make a statement. I'm going to use the I, but I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about you. So I'm speaking as you because you've created me to do this, right? To walk you through all this. And again, if it's a yes, what does it feel like? Is it tingles? Is it an itch? Is it whatever, right? A yawn, a sneeze, a fart, doesn't matter. And then if it's no, what is that first thought that comes in and says no? Or even if it's a maybe, which is wishy-washy, we really want to get that one out of there. What is the first thought? And where does that feel? If it feels at all. And not all of the yeses will feel and not all of the no's will feel. So that's okay. But when we get one of those no's, we're really going to dive into it. But when you do get a yes, you can share. And it should be instant. You shouldn't have to think, I don't want you contemplating. Be in the now. Okay. So we already did the first one. I'm the star in my universe. So we're going to go to the next one. You ready? Okay. Everyone in my universe loves and adores me. Everyone. We're going to be very hyperbolic. What's your response? Okay. That sounds like a no. Now, in my universe, everyone loves me. And if they don't love me, they're not in my universe, right? So, do you see where we're going here? What is the reason why everyone doesn't love and adore you?
Oh, God. Already? Okay.
Broccoli. No, I'm just kidding.
You say 3 times, I turn into something else. Okay.
The reason why... well, I'm just going to say the first thing that came to my mind.
Yeah, that's what we want. The very first thing, because that's the strongest.
Because I'm a bad person.
Really? Now prove it.
I mean, how do I prove that?
So then we have to toss it out as bullshit.
Okay.
Because if you can't prove it right here, right now, it's bullshit. It's
okay.
Bullshit. That's it, right? But we're so used to this mind coming in with its conjecture of this is truth. It comes in strong and it comes in like it's truth, right? So this is really, really powerful. Did you have any feel when that came in?
What is it? Is this a family rated show? Well, I'll just tell you, I don't, whoever's listening, you showed up, so you were supposed to hear these things.
Yeah.
I felt when you said it, I immediately felt a pulsation in my man parts.
Okay. Okay.
Me too.
Really?
Okay. So we're really talking about root chakra.
Yes.
And that's
Low.
survival. So you're in survival mode on that assumption, because I call these my personal energetic foundation assumptions.
Yes.
Okay.
I guess.
So, and this concept of worthiness is bullshit, right? Because you are the creator of your universe. Why would you create a universe where everyone doesn't love and adore you? And now you know that if that kind of person shows up, you're not in your universe, and you don't have to engage. That's how you really get to, hello, nice to meet you. So we've activated that everyone adores you and loves you. And it may feel like you're putting on shoes 2 sizes too big or 2 sizes too small in some of these. And that's okay, because that's what a jump off point is. But you're no longer there ever again. Because I'm in your universe. Are you in his universe? You
I'm
love
right
it.
here. I don't know where I am
Right now, we can have a universe of 3 and 4. We
throuple?
put
A
Cody in there too.
With you two, that's huge.
Yeah.
That's a big universe.
You better get some more coffee to hang out with us.
because if I don't love and adore you, seriously, I don't love and adore myself because you're my creation.
Right.
Why would I create something that doesn't reflect me and how I feel about myself?
I want to throw something in, a question for the inquisitive human. What happens if Rich came forth with a past experience, or someone comes with a past experience that made them feel that they were a bad person?
Okay. So here's the thing. If you're going to use past experiences, that's why with the yes is, because you get to choose everything.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk about free will. This is free will. So bring in those things that support, because you're going to be this wonderful, amazing person in all of your universes. You're just a character playing a role.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So when we watch, say, the show Lucifer, we don't believe the guy playing Lucifer is really the devil, but he plays a really good character version of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So these are just characters. That's not who you are. You were temporarily playing that character. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it does to me.
Yeah. So that's why we're bringing in the yes support, because that you have to, if you're going to use your mind to support something, let's support the yes.
Mm-hmm.
And
say that again.
And if you're a bad person, since the mind is very hyperbolic, meaning that it goes general, then you've never stopped being one. So you should have some kind of proof right here, right now.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is all my years of having to go into court, prove things beyond a reasonable doubt. That is a really, really monumental, huge, huge thing. And it's a wonderful thing that is there, because it's not an easy task.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so powerful. It's such a powerful thing that you taught about, the proving your worthiness. Is there physical evidence of it? All of that, because it just takes people like, oh, no, there isn't.
And really, we're talking too more about the innerverse, because until your new character, until you've totally developed your new character, because then your new world starts to physically come into being. In your innerverse, there's no such thing now as a bad person.
Right.
And one thing, the reason why I stopped being an interrogator is because I went from everything was black and white because I was young. There's right and there's wrong and blah, 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 blah. And then I realized that it wasn't that these were bad people. They were just making terrible choices. And the choices they made at that time were the best that they could do from where they are.
Yeah.
Right. And if circumstances were different, they would have made different choices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I hear you say is, if we're creating, and I think you brought this example to me before, but if we're creating our own video game, like, who are the characters that we would create? We wouldn't want the ones in there that we don't want, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. He's nervously waiting for the next
one. I know.
Oh, we're going to go for a heavy hitter.
Oh, okay. Bring it on. Bring it on.
All right. Every moment is perfect, and I am perfect in every moment. What was that?
Yes.
That was contemplation, my friend. What do they want to hear now? That you don't.
No. So here's
what. Yes.
What happened is, my first response in my head was yes.
Yeah.
And then there was like, that's the me that's the character that believes that the other character was like, yeah, I'm not so sure about that.
Okay. So I'm not so sure about that. You would write that down, right? Okay. Where's the proof? Where's the proof that right now you are not perfect and this is not the perfect moment? Where's the proof?
There's no.
Where's the beef?
No proof.
So what is it?
Yes.
It's a perfect moment.
No, that answer, that initial answer of, if there's no proof, it's
bullshit.
There you go.
Ding, 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 ding. Bullshit.
Give him a hot chocolate chip cookie.
I hope there's a golden buzzer.
No, I ate them all. Sorry.
All right, let's go for a hot topic. Let's go.
Is anybody, by the way, that are watching with us right now? I'd love to know if you are taking part in this, and maybe any aha moments that you're having with yourself right now.
They can say, number 3. Here's my answer. It was a yes or no. This is where I felt it. So where did you feel that in your body when it was like, when it first came in?
My throat chakra.
Throat, right? Okay. So then that means you got throat chakra, which means all about your speaking your truth.
Yep.
Yeah.
Unmuting.
And sometimes it's hard for people to go, I'm freaking awesome, because what have we been taught in old realities? Don't say that stuff out loud. Don't brag. Don't be arrogant. Right? There's a difference between arrogant and confidence. And those who are in your universe will see it as confidence.
Right.
Right. Okay, good. All right, ready for the next one? You're
Bring it
doing
on.
good. I know you're loving every minute of this. He's like, why did I sign up for this?
No, because I'm smart.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Are you ready for the next one, everyone? Here we go. Money flows easily to me and through me. A lot of sighing going on over there, Rich.
Well, here's what's cool is, again, my first thought was yes, of course. And then there's that show it to me.
Yeah.
And so there's like this in between, which you're very well aware of, the character switching that I am doing, is I'm hearing both voices. I hear the yes first, which is great. That other dude is like,
well, everybody got a big old butt, right? And that's whenever a butt shows up, I start going, everybody got a big old butt. Oh yeah. Denise got a big old butt. Oh yeah.
Sherry got a big old butt.
Oh yeah. I have waited so many years for the bubble butt to be in. I'm now worshipped. That wasn't always the case, but now in my universe, I made it where the bubble butt is the place to be. Okay.
I just got to tell I've waited so many years for the bubble butt to be in, and now that it finally is, mine's down to my knees.
We'll get that back up. We'll get that.
Okay.
Okay.
You wrote that.
All right. So money flows easily. Now you have to understand, if we're piggybacking a little bit off last week with manifestation. So if the answer isn't yes, and that yes is but of course. If the answer isn't, that's the magical phrase. If it isn't but of course or yes, it can be either one. Because whenever anything shows up, the answer is always but of course, because it's what you're aligned to. And if you don't pay attention to these little kind of things that come in, it shows you your instant resistance instantly.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have one time where money flowed to you? Just one. I need one. That's okay. One time.
Yeah. Recently.
Okay.
I mean, all the time, but one.
So give a real one. Give a real example that you feel comfortable giving.
Well, using an affirmation or a mantra similar to this, very similar to that. Money, I say money flows to me from unexpected people at unexpected times in unexpected ways in huge unexpected amounts for unexpected reasons. I go through that, so I walk around saying this, and then like a client of mine hired me again with no questions asked and said, "Okay, great. Where do I send the money?" I was like, "Okay." Yeah. So I know that works. It's staying in that place.
Well, here's the really cool thing. And we talked about your reticular activating center, your rack. Everybody got a nice rack.
Damn, you took my call. Let me
sorry.
Hey, I'm like, give me a break.
I'm not sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
Nice rack you got there.
No.
But so now, if you can find moments during the day, because they're all perfect, because you've never been the same you more than a split second, because cells are dividing, food's digesting, hair is growing, right? All that stuff. You've never brushed your teeth the same way twice. So how could you ever do anything wrong? Because then you're comparing yourself to an old version that is outdated, even if it was 3 seconds ago. So if you can't find something within yourself of money flowing or every moment being perfect, then look for it in your immediate physical environment. Somebody else just received money. They called you up. Hey, I just got $10,000. Well, if it flows to them and they went out of their busy scheduled life to call you up or text you and say, look what just happened, then guess what? Your subconscious is gone. Are you ready for yours? And if you go, oh, how come they got it and I didn't? The subconscious goes, nope, not ready for it. Not ready for it. Let's give it to a whole bunch of other people. Not that you'll ever not be getting yours. But the moment that you celebrate in the others, you let the subconscious mind goes, yes, I want some of this, please. Give me some of that.
You're basically finding evidence.
Yes, you're finding the evidence.
In your verse, inner, outer verse, whether it's from you or somebody else.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
We have a question.
Go ahead.
So are we supposed to fake it till we believe it? Fake it till we believe it?
Ooh, good question, Cody.
Good question, Cody.
So we will answer that, Cody, but let me get another one going. Let me keep this.
Wait, you have to go dun dun dun
dun dun dun
dun dun dun.
We got echoes. Love it. Okay, because this next one will come into that. That'll be a great explanation. for this. Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
I always receive what I desire quickly.
Yes.
Why are you laughing?
I'm practicing being a fast yes.
Well, was it a
He
true
knows
yes?
better now. He learns quickly.
Yes. Before the
good muscle
amen,
memory.
right?
Was it okay? You said was it a what? A what?
Was it a
Yes?
true yes?
No.
Yeah, and that's okay.
It was a yes and.
Yeah, okay,
Or actually, it was yes but.
but yeah, and again, everybody has a big old butt, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so now read me Cody's question again.
So, are we supposed to fake it till we believe it?
Okay, so if faking it till you make it, that feels natural to you, yes. If it doesn't, no. But I want you all right now to close your eyes and either visualize or smell or feel the touch of a chocolate chip cookie.
Oh, more cookies.
Oh God, I don't need more.
That's not faking it, that's creating it.
Yeah.
So you received it within a split second. So to say a true yes of this, I always receive what I desire quickly, when the invisible activation is enough, not the done deal. That's when you know it's a done deal, because you don't even have to think about it again. When you don't have to think about it again, you're it. You've assumed the reality of it.
Can you say that in a different way? Sorry, like just re-explain.
I'm rewinding.
Because my mind went. Just
Good,
like
good. I'm glad it did. Okay.
Yeah.
She has that effect on people.
So, what's your name again?
Even Julia said deep.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not about crossing the finish line. When you know the finish line's a done deal, right? If you're going to go food shopping today, whatever supermarket you go to, you set an intent. You start from where you are. You either walk or you get in your car or Uber or however you do it. And there's no doubt that the intention is set that you're going to arrive there.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's how it's really this simple, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You don't have to think about every single block or turn or stop sign or stoplight. Am I going to get there? Am I going to get there? Am I going to? And here's the thing. You didn't try to get there. You got there. There's a difference. That's why there's no try.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You didn't try. Anybody tells me they're going to try something, I'm like, I'm done with it. It's not happening. Because those things that you want, you get.
Right.
There's no try. Okay. I went all Yoda on you. But so when the inner creation, and you create it so powerfully that it feels in just that moment that it's like the done deal was physically manifest, crossing the finish line. And you don't need to focus on it again. Now that means that you don't come back and think about it again. You set it and forget it. Because it's not about crossing the finish line. It's about enjoying the creation, because the energy of the creation is the energy of the outcome. That's powerful. Go ahead.
So
I was just going like this.
Well, you also got a hello at the same time, so it all came together.
Yeah.
So what came to mind as you just said what you said about not having to go back to it again. So if from a perspective of prayer, that's what my brain went. So when people pray over and over for the same thing, or even manifestation,
They're restarting the process every single time.
So the intentionality with which you have that imaginal act, as we discussed in the previous episode, that's the moment, right? When you really do that work.
That's the full fruition right there.
And then you're like, bloop.
Don't it? Right? Because how many times do you have to brush your teeth right after you brush your teeth?
Right. And then what?
Go about whatever makes you happy. Go about your normal life, your regularly scheduled program. And the more in your regularly scheduled program, your day, your Truman Show, that, and this is really important, that you are the I am declares you are. So don't declare I am happy, declare that I am happiness. Therefore, my character will act out the happy. That's where the confusion is.
Got it.
Because if you are the essence of the energy, nothing can make you happy or take it away.
Right.
Because you are it.
Because you're it, tag, you are it.
Tag, you're it.
Right? So when
all of your stuff is coming together now, Denise. Everything you say, I'm like, oh, there it is. Like it's
there
starting
it is.
to see
I
in my
told you
mind.
you're gonna have
Tag, you're it.
And it really is simple because you manifest all day long. When you make a cup of coffee, you're manifesting a cup of coffee. And you do the necessary action steps in the moment that they're needed, not an hour before, and then afterwards you don't go, oh, I can't believe I made the coffee that way. That was the worst way to ever, like, you don't do that.
I have to say something.
But,
so what I love about this clarification, or that you're reminding us of what we already know about this, right?
and you created me to remind you of this, so I think I'm doing
you.
one heck
See
of a
how
job.
smart I am? I told you.
Your creation was amazing. See, now you get to enjoy your creation.
But
and everyone that's watching us in the audience has created
us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So everyone
what
here.
vivid, wild imaginations they have. That's all I'm saying.
So here's what's so cool about what you're saying is what I'm saying through you, because I created you, is that this literally is no different than these examples you just used. You make a cup of coffee, you don't doubt it. You're like, I'm going to make coffee, and then it gets made. And that there wasn't a big, like, I don't know, is it going to work today? Like, is the coffee, or there's no contemplation about it, or going to the grocery store. Like, it's just going to happen. You're coming back with the things that you said you're going to come back with. And there's no like, well, how am I going to get there? And how's it going to unfold? And what do I do next?
And you don't worry about that.
And you're saying that when I say I'm a man who owns a private jet, that's no different than me saying I'm a man who's going to make a cup of coffee.
Because to the subconscious mind, there's no gradation. There's no bigger.
We put those values or limitations on the things.
Yeah.
So we get to be that's why I always get what I desire.
Yeah.
Okay.
Always. And most of the time, though, in the beginning, and you can truly say that you do, because a lot of times you focus, whenever you desire something, it's because in the moment that there was a lack of it.
Yeah.
And just think of it, just think of a garden putting a little seed into a garden of weeds, right? That seed can still grow in the garden of weeds. You just got to give it a little bit more attention than the weeds, or you can pull all the weeds up.
Mm-hmm.
I want to jump in here.
Yeah, go ahead. Jump in.
I'm like jumping out of my seat here. I'm like,
hold on, tag team.
Right. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
So the other day when I was walking, I looked down at my shoes, my sneakers, and I said, I have gray sneakers. And then right after was like, I have $1 million. I have gray sneakers. I have $1 million. And it was this repetitive thing. And I was like, that was my process that I was telling you about teaching. Like, it was as straightforward and simple, as matter of fact as that. And I understood, and I had that moment that I was like, it was never a doubt. It always was. It always is. And I've come to understand, and I'm sharing this because I know that there are people out there, that just because you can't physically see the manifestation doesn't mean that it's not growing or that it's not happening.
Right. I had a client once, and she literally would do this. She would plant seeds in her garden, and if they didn't grow fast enough, she'd dig them up and see what was going on. Right. And that was our running joke in all the different classes that she was in. So here, okay, now we're going from beginner to we're getting into that intermediate stage, right? So get ready. Ready for the next one, Rich?
Got my lightsaber.
Okay. I always get what I ask for plus more.
Excuse me. Yes. So I was choking on my coffee as you said that. I always get what I ask for plus more.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And now the supporting evidence, if you did go into the past and you got things that you think you didn't ask for, but you did. Because you can't shout no at something and not be giving it your attention. Yes, please, Cody, go spend the $1 million over and over and over. Seriously, this is not
talking about our millions.
I think he was talking about my $1 million.
Go spend it on all the things that you would be spending it on. Spend it 10 times a day. Spend it.
Is that all you need?
Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference, just like it'll salivate for the cookie that's not here.
Can you spend it on me? Just curious.
Right. You can spend it on whoever you want to spend it on.
No, I meant Cody. Can
I just get 20% of everything. That's all I'm saying. That's my fee. Hidden agenda. No. Okay. but you always get what you ask for plus more, because you live in a universe that loves to 10 up you. Not just one up you, 10 up you. So anytime I meet a person and they're in that one up mode, I get so excited because my universe is going, I'm upping you, I'm one upping you, I'm 7 upping you, I'm 10 upping you. Yes. Okay. How we doing, guys?
We got a question.
So can you think of, Rich, a time when you asked for something and you got that plus more? Just one. We only need one evidence. One. Go ahead.
Yeah. So recently I attended an online event, a Think and Grow Rich event, and there was a opportunity to share the event with our peeps, and you could win a ticket to go sit in that billionaire's mansion and on the billionaire's plane. And my first thought was, I never win anything. And I said, no, that's a lie.
That's exactly what we're doing here.
Yes. And then I said, I'm going to win. And I did.
Yeah, that's it. Ding, 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 ding. You got it.
But of course.
But of course.
How
usual.
But of course. Then we have a question.
Yes. Rosalia says, by the way, thanks for being here. I love you. Does the universe send us signs that confirm to us what we want is on the way? I've been seeing signs like 88.8, 88.8, and 88K.
Okay. So in the beginning, the signs come after in hindsight. Don't get mesmerized, because what happens is when you see things repeating, you can say, okay, it's kicked up, it's in gear, and then let it go. Because then if you try to go figure out what it means and what it means and what it means, it won't mean that after the fact. And if you get so caught up in what you think it means, you're going to miss it. So think about this a couple of times that you realized it in hindsight what actually happened, and there's no way you could have predicted that bridge of incidents. So if you're picking up on the repetition, because that is how the subconscious mind speaks, just see it as a high five. That's all you need. It's a high five, let it go, because you don't know which one it is. And you don't want to activate them all because we set it and forget it.
So is it like limiting the universe in a sense? Like if you
it's
try
a lower mind trying to make you think it's in charge, and it's not, because it wants to play detective. It wants to play detective, and maybe you could get a direct hit, but if there's billions of options of how this could come in, do you really want to give into that one mind that it may or may not be that one, right?
But
so
what
if
if it
you
excites you?
forget it, this is where the trust comes in, the faith, trust, however you want to call it, that you're thinking of it. So here's what I do. When I do manifestation, I was saying this to you the other day, I'll create 3 to 5 different scenarios, real quick, to the point. Any one of them, heck, if they all want to be combined together, I'm happy with it. And then it's none of my business, because there have been times where I've missed it and I end up tripping over it, or somebody falls in my lap, or somehow it knocks me upside the head. If your subconscious mind needs to do that for you, it will. You will never miss your manifestation. So just go about your day knowing, like Christmas, right? You know when Christmas is. As much as a little kid, you want to make it days ahead of time. It's really like that. You got to trust.
But what do you say about, though, like intuition? Because if, like Rosalia, sorry, I don't know, I'm calling Rosalia. Rosalia saying, if you see like signs and they're kind of like breadcrumbs, like in a sense, like it's your intuition telling you to make choices that, you know what I mean? Like,
well, here's the thing then, if you really want to do signs like that, assign the sign ahead of time.
Right.
That way, you know exactly what it is. So if you create this manifestation and you give it a rainbow unicorn, like when I assign a sign ahead of time, I pick something that I hardly ever see, so that when it does start to show up, it gets my attention.
Wait, can you talk about like that? Okay.
Porcupine.
At what point are you assigning a sign?
Okay. So if I were to say, if we used last week's hot chocolate chip cookie, well, that's an obvious, it's in itself, it's a sign, right? Okay. Right. But let's say you want to manifest 3 new clients, and you go in, and what I suggest to people is that when you do it, you're already having the intake call. So I will put my headset on, I will get my phone. If you walked in the room, you would not know that I was not having a real conversation with somebody. Or if you do Zoom, you'd be on Zoom, and you go through the whole process, you act it out. You have fun with it. You get excited how you would, as if that other person, and you give them time to respond back to you. You give them names, why they came to you, what kind of client they are. Sometimes it's a direct hit. Sometimes it's someone like that. But there's usually some similarities. So then after I do, say, 5 of those, then I'll say a pink elephant, because I haven't seen a pink elephant.
So wait. So the acting the process out, the headset, whatever. That's the imaginal act.
And you can do an imaginal act in real, because this is a dream.
Right.
You're now lucid in the dream.
Okay.
And when you're lucid in the dream, it is a real live imaginal act.
Okay. So that
told me to host a talk show for my stuffed animals. I remember you said that, like, to put all my stuffed animals out.
Here's the fun part. Even when you have your cup of coffee, which is a normal routine thing, that's still an imaginal act, because it makes sure that there's more coffee coming down the line, especially if you enjoy coffee. You got to there. So if there's going to be cause and effect, you're saying to your subconscious, I like this coffee thing. I want more of that.
Okay, we have so much that we could talk about so many times. Let's
I know.
Time
flies here.
Was there any more questions?
Oh, we got a question?
No. Was there any more hot seat questions for Rich?
Oh, there's tons of them. So go back for, was it Rosalie?
Rosalia.
Yeah. So since if you're seeing the repetition of something, high five your subconscious or your higher self, call it what you want, doesn't matter. Your universe, it's all the same thing. But if you really want to assign the sign ahead of time, that way when it starts to show up, you know the first indication of it. Then how long until you see the next one? Is it moving away from you or towards you? So if it showed up in first person, but now you're seeing it in a Facebook post, it's moving away from you. If you see it first in a Facebook post, but then it shows up, somebody else walks by with a pink elephant shirt on, now it's physical, it's moving towards me. And I will go to that person, hey, you don't know it, but you're my client. You've summoned me, here I am. And you got to be that bold to do fun things like that, because most people don't go, get away from me, who are you? Yeah. And that's the fun part of being it's like you've made Easter eggs and you hid them on yourself, and now you get to rediscover them when you assign the sign ahead of time. Okay, we can do one more.
I'd just like to say I manifested a refill on my coffee.
Look at that.
John slacking.
Yes, one more.
No, I finished it all. Okay, yes, one more for Rich.
All right, let me get.
And anybody, I'd love to know in the comments while Denise is creating, what has stuck out for you today? Has there been anything, an aha moment that you've had? Write it in the comments, because then it will do something in your body.
Yes.
And I will one up everybody, because your universe is one upping you. These personal energetic foundation assumptions that I'm reading from, I actually made a little video, so I'll be more than happy that you can have the whole list of them and go through this one by one, and go through this whole process so that you can see where you are on these topics. All right, Rich, drum roll. Ready?
There's a little pep talk for you right there.
Yes, Robert's giving you a high five there.
Thanks, Robert.
There you go. Are you ready? Here we go. I feel satisfied in every moment in the perfection of the moment. Are you not satisfied right now?
Yes. I'm
So
thoroughly.
you know what satisfaction feels like now?
Yes, I'm exhilarated right now.
Never, ever, ever sing again the Rolling Stones song, I Get No Satisfaction. Do not ever sing that song. Get all the satisfaction. Be the one who takes all the satisfaction.
Got it.
And this is the only moment there is. That's what I'm getting, like,
right.
So you do feel satisfaction all the time, because this is now.
Because that's what they're looking for in the physical thing to show up. You're looking for the satisfaction of it arriving. So if you feel the satisfaction ahead of time, you'll be amazed. You'll be pulling things in that have been kind of hovering for the past 10 years, waiting for you to feel that satisfied for it to come in.
So if I'm not saying me specifically, if one is in a state, for people, I'm thinking of like coaching clients who talk about, I'm not happy, or I'm not satisfied, or, you know, they're in that mode. Obviously it's a self-perpetuating.
Well, what I would say to people that say, I'm not happy. Well, are you enjoying your unhappiness? Because if you're going to be unhappy the hell out of it. Go all in. Go all in. Because if you're not going to go all in the unhappy, why even be there? Yeah. And then you can get happy about being unhappy, because when you're unhappying it, the best way that you've ever done, that's satisfaction.
I said that, you were so in my head. I said it the other day when John and I were talking on the weekend, talking about being bored. I'm like, well, let's just be the best bored of our lives then.
Be bored like you've never been bored before. Right.
Yes.
And then you start laughing because it's ridiculous. And then you get satisfied.
Yes.
You get satisfied.
So
That's the fun part about all of this. That's part of the enlightenments, that when you have that aha moment and like, oh, this is all ridiculous bullshit. Even the best thoughts are ridiculous bullshit. But if you had your choice between all the unhappy ones and the ones, and if it's all bullshit, then why not go with the really good stuff?
That was my but of course, by the way, before we end this. But of course, another, when I was hiking, and this same conversation came up in my body, and it was, if I create these thoughts, or if I engage with these thoughts that say, you're not enough or you'll never be, I can just as easily, if I wanted to, engage with the thoughts that say everything is perfect, you are amazing. Like, why not just do the ones that feel better?
And here's the thing for the not enoughitis, right?
Yep.
Here's this. You'll never be able to say this ever again.
Yeah.
What is the enough? Tell me what the enough is that you are comparing, that you know that you're not.
Right.
Not one person has ever been able to tell me what the enough is.
Yep.
So in order for you to be lacking of something, you have to know what the whole is. Otherwise, it's hyperbolic bullshit. It's vague.
I think that big time. Yeah.
And if you're going to believe, why would you believe something that vague?
Bradley says, yes to everyone loves me in my universe. Just need to expand.
Look at the smile on his picture, but of course.
Cody says, be in the yes and fake it until I'm getting mindset as a creationism.
Yeah. All of this is your mind. It's not this little lumpy thing inside your head. All of this. So you are the enough. You are the enough that has the thought that you possibly couldn't be it. So when you're saying I'm not enough, who is the I and who is the enough? And who is the one listening to it all?
Let's leave everybody with that.
Yeah. Dun, dun, dun.
I had so much fun. Did you guys have fun?
Yeah, totally.
Thanks for nothing, Rich. My goodness.
Thank you for nothing.
Thanks for nothing.
I was the most bored I've ever been bored in my entire boarding life.
And I got Roar here. Just every Leo has, well, wait. Has her line. Or how about this? There he is.
I'm gonna do this. So
I'm just a big kid.
Show Roar again for everybody.
Okay, here's Roar. Here's Roar. And I'll send you a picture of Zeke with Roar. Zeke
looks like Roar. Very similar. Yeah.
They had a little showdown.
Yes. So I want to go ahead and thank everyone that has shown up today. Like,
I'd love to see the answers if anybody wants to share their answers on, and I will put the video up for all of the assumptions that are there.
Absolutely. And be sure to tune in next Wednesday for another episode where we'll land this time is
I have no idea. We have nothing to talk about.
But I'm certain that we'll hear a little bit more about an opportunity to be able to spend more time with you, Denise, learning from you. But they got to tune in next Wednesday.
And you guys are going to be there too. So it's
not oh no, it's all of us.
Yeah.
It's all of us.
Wait till they realize that they created me for them. And they created you for them.
Rich, thank you for being in the hot fun seat today.
You did a great job. Let's give a round of applause.
My butt is bigger.
Yeah.
or not as, well, I don't know.
No, we want the big old butt.
Can everybody stand up and show us your butt? But of course. There you go.
Bum.
All right. Bye, everybody.
And I'll see you too in a few minutes.
Yes. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today for another episode. Thank you, everybody. Look at them, such a Leo. I'm like, thank you, everybody, for joining us for another episode of
Thanks for nothing.
Thanks for nothing.